August had its highs and its lows, but today I'm hitting reset and taking a look at what went well and what didn't before walking through my September budget. Hi, if you're new here, I'm La and I'm on a journey to pay down over $175,000 of debt. So if you're into that type of thing, hit subscribe. Now come along with me so we can look at how August went for our budget. So, couple housekeeping things before we get started. I am still recovering from surgery, so my voice might just be up or down depending on the words that I say. Also, I have a new mic, so how do you guys feel about the sound? Let me know how you feel. If you like it, I feel like it's much better to not be yelling at the camera anymore. So let's hop into our money wins for August. So our income that we budgeted for August, we budgeted $14,708 from employer income and guesstimated that we'll get about $250 of extra income from business or side income. What really happened in August was crazy. We actually bought in $17,034.94. So 26 of that came from my husband, my lovely husband, who killed it in overtime, and he bought in $900 of extra income from his side business. So that's one of our money wins. He's killing it, and I love that for us. With that extra money, we were able to throw $3,095 towards the personal loan that we have been focused on paying down. In addition to that, we set up 4 new sinking funds. So first, we set up a sinking fund for our annual phone bill, which is coming up in October. We set up a sinking fund for the holidays, one for car maintenance, and then we set up one for a little treat for us when we're done paying for credit cards. So those are our money wins. So those are the highs. Now let's get to the lows. There's only 2 places that our budget kind of went out of whack, and that would be school shopping. We went over by $158. So we used money from our back to school sinking fund to pay for school clothes and supplies, and then we budgeted for $450. And we also used gift cards, which wasn't really in the budget because they were gift cards. Me and my husband both cashed out points from our jobs that we were awarded, and we used that for back to school shopping as well, and we still went over by $158. In addition to that, we went over in our eating out category by $120.45. I did have surgery, so I did expect us to maybe go over. I did try to bump up our category, and we planned on spending $250, but we ended up spending $370.45. So that's always like the category that I feel like we struggle with. And I know people are sometimes in my comments like, you shouldn't be eating out if you're paying out that. But I'm also not about to live a miserable life. So it is what it is. And we're going to just work on the amount of times we're eating out in September. All right, so now that we talked about everything that went down in August, let's go ahead and hop right into our September budget. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our September monthly budget tracker. So for my paychecks, my income for the month is going to be $69.54. And then my husband's paychecks and commission, I am estimating $4,200. I think his commission is going to be around $1,800, but I'm not exactly sure. And then he does overtime. So I have been grossly underestimating how much OT he is doing. And so I bumped up how much I think his paycheck is going to be this month. And then he gets disability, which is $25.08. And then I'm going to estimate that in variable income, we're going to get I'm going to budget for $450 of variable income. I am kicking off a challenge soon for the fall that I'm going to be doing. So with that, we need to make extra income. So I'm going to budget for us to have income. So that is our income goal for variable income in September, $450. So let's go ahead and hop into our fixed expenses. So we have our mortgage. It's due on the 1st of every month. And it is $27.45.01. Daycare. So daycare increased. And my daughter has not moved up to the next room because they're short-staffed, and they also raised prices, I guess because they're trying to get more people to work there. So they increased the prices of tuition, and it is now $15.64 a month. So it's $391 a week. And then we have car payment. Due on the 11th of every month, and that is $930. We have our insurance, which is going to be $246 this month, and it comes out on the 1st and the 15th. Then we have our electric, which comes out on the 6th. And our electric bill is a lot more expensive this month, but August is the hottest month of the year here in Texas. So $275, which actually really isn't that crazy. Before we moved into our new house, I've had light bills that were about $750 in the older house that we were renting. So $275 is light, and I feel blessed to have a light bill that's only $275. Then we have our natural gas, and that bill is $63.63. And that is due on the 21st of the month. Then we have our water, sewer, and trash. And that bill is $165. It's due on the 15th of the month. Then we have our internet. And that is due on the 17th of every month. And it is $45. I actually don't know why I put electric and gas in fixed, but it's over here now, so we're not gonna worry about it. We have our loan for the car, negative equity, and it is $415. It's not due until actually October 6th, so I'm just gonna put the 30th of the month. We're just paying it a week or two in advance. For our grass, that is bi-weekly, $70. And then we also have our HOA bill. It's due on the 30th. It's $130.87. We have a toll bill that we're paying on, which is $198. Then we have our Navy Federal cards, and in total we pay $145, and then another card that we're paying on, which is $335. So those are all of our fixed expenses, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to our variable expenses. And I'm starting off with minimum payments first because they should have been on the left side, but I put my utilities on the left side. This time, just charge it to my head, not my heart. I'm recovering. We're just gonna pretend like they're variable expenses, even though they're not. So we have our Ashley's furniture, which is $162, and that comes out on the 3rd. What else we got? Then we have our Aqua Finance, which is $111. That comes out on the 17th of the month. And I believe that is all of our minimum debt payments. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our household stuff. We'll start with groceries. For groceries, I am budgeting $1,000. We try to do about $250 a week. So $1,000 is where we're at right now in groceries. And eating out, like I said, we're gonna try to reel it in this month. $250 is the budget again. And then we'll see how this month goes, and if we keep going over, then I'm just gonna adjust it up and just be realistic and stop fretting over a number, because I'm trying to fit into a box. And if we don't fit into that box, which is eating out only $250 a month, then I will adjust accordingly. House supplies. I am budgeting $150. It is time to stock up on toilet paper, paper towels, all the things. So budgeting $150. Subscriptions. So for subscriptions, I do have new subscriptions. So I am paying for CapCut Pro for my editing, and then I'm also paying for the plus version of ChatGPT because it helps me with stuff that I need for this channel. So for subscriptions, the total amount that we're paying for subscriptions is about $140. The other things that are included in that is Canva Pro, and then we have our Apple family account, and then we have YouTube Premium Family as well. And I also pay for Netflix. So those are the subscriptions that we pay for. Yes, I could probably cut something out, but my mom uses my Netflix account, and I don't mind paying $27 so she can watch TV, if we're just being honest. And I'm only saying that because I know someone's gonna comment on this budget with me and be like, you should cut out some of your subscriptions. So that's why I'm explaining. Gym. Whoa, what happened here? Template went kind of crazy. For the gym, we are budgeting $72, and this is also something I've received comments on, which is you need to cut out the gym. And me and my husband are both passionate about our health, and the gym is something that's a non-negotiable for us. He lifts weights, and then when I do have time, I go to the gym, I lift weights. It has childcare, we take our kids, it has a pool. And $72 is actually a downgrade from the last gym that we had, which we were paying $110 for. So we did actually cut back on the gym. It's just you guys didn't see that because that was before I started making videos. So the gym is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So then we have kids budget. So I'm budgeting $100 for baby stuff, and then $50 for the other kids for like when things pop up, like events that they have at school. Sometimes the little Kona ice truck will come to their school, and they'll get snow cones. And we do sacrifice, but there are some things I don't say no to. So if it's something going on at school that I like my kid to participate in, then I will throw money at that. And we have cut back on kids items as well. So we used to have them in sports. They're not in sports right now. So things at school that pop up, yes, I pay for. And then also for the baby, it's time to stock up on diapers and wipes. So the budget for the baby this month is $100. Then we have my personal budget. Every month I keep saying, I'm gonna go get a pedicure, and I never go do it. And my husband keeps urging me to not feel guilty about spending money on myself. So I'm going to go do it Friday. I have the time to do it. So I'm gonna go do it Friday. And it's gonna be my treat for hitting 1,000 subs. And by the way, I have not said thank you for getting me to 1,000 subs. Wow, I probably should have started the video off with this. So this is just like an impromptu interruption of this budget. Thank you for getting me to 1,000 subs. I am very grateful and honored to be able to put out my financial journey and have people follow me, and you guys subscribe and you cheer me on. I feel so blessed for every single person that has decided to tune into my videos, like them, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that you guys are like here for the journey and cheering me on, and I am cheering you on as well. I try to comment back to every single comment on most of my videos. Besides the car video that went viral, because some of those comments were mean. So I did have to take a break from replying to comments because they were getting out of hand. But I do appreciate you guys for commenting, and I try to comment to you back and just thank you for the growth that we had in 2 months. It's only been 2 months that I've been on YouTube, and we've grown to 1,000 subs. So thank you. I can't express my gratitude enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, back to my personal budget. I'm going to spend $75 on myself. The pedicure probably is going to cost $75, but I do tip, so yeah. Then we have my hub's personal budget. He needs a haircut bad, so I'm going to also force him to go use his personal budget on getting a haircut. Then we have like actual tolls that we use within the month. Like the $198 that we're paying for tolls is like an old toll bill, but occasionally we have to use a toll road, and the total amount that it just automatically puts on the account is $40. So I put it in the budget. If we hit that, we don't. And then it'll just roll over into next month's budget. If we do, then we do. Then we have charge. This is also like a category that I just budget for. So in case we do have to charge our car while we're out and about, then it's in the budget, but typically we don't. But just because we're only working with one car now, and we might go somewhere and just like really wind down the battery on the car, we might have to charge it while we're out. So it's in the budget just in case, but typically we don't have to charge because we have a charger at home. And then last is miscellaneous spending, just in case something pops up, which is $200. So that's just like my buffer in case something pops up, or somebody needs something, or anything just pops up, doctor's appointment that we didn't expect, like when the kids are sick, something like that. It comes out of miscellaneous. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into the good stuff, which is savings and debt payments. Realistically, this month, our debt payment is going to be $300 shy of what I usually budget, which is $2,500. So for extra debt payments, I'm only budgeting $2,200, and that's because we're putting a lot towards sinking funds and savings. So our emergency fund, we are still saving $500. So I think someone asked me, why am I still saving towards an emergency fund and paying off debt, like I'm splitting up efforts. I just think that I should continue to save. We have 3 kids, as you know, and I think it's important to have an emergency fund. and then we have also dipped into it sometimes. I don't just stop my debt payments to replenish it. So my goal with the emergency fund is to get to 1 whole month's worth of bare bones expenses, and then I'll stop. So for me, that is making sure that we can cover our mortgage, our car payment, so those are like the big things, our utilities, food to eat, and then our minimum payments. So that would probably run us about $5,500 in like bare bones. That would be what we need to survive if we cut out everything else. Obviously, like if I was to lose my job, I wouldn't pay for daycare anymore. So that one wouldn't be an expense to consider, and we would just cut back on eating out more, and we would cut out all extra stuff. So our bare bones budget would be about 55, just because of our car payment and how much our mortgage is and how much our minimum debt payments is. So that's why I'm continuing to save to my emergency fund. So as far as sinking funds, we know that we're going to need tires on my car soon. So for car maintenance, we're bumping it up this month, and we're putting $450 towards that. Holidays, we are putting $150 towards that, and phone bill, because it's getting closer towards us having to pay for the phone bill, $250. So add everything up. So for income, this time I am including the extra variable income because, like I said, we're doing a challenge. I know we're going to have extra income coming in because we're going to actively work towards it. It's not just a guess. It is a goal, and bare minimum, I want us to bring in an extra $450, and we're going to do what it takes to bring that in. So our income for the month is $14,112. So I'm going to go ahead and add up the fixed expenses. Is $13,347.01. That leaves us with a large buffer. So let me recalculate one more again. Okay, so I figured out why my buffer was too big, and that's because I did not include my appointments for like physical therapy and whatnot. So that is going to be $275. So this is going to be $27.45. And like I said, I buffer a lot lower. So now our updated expenses, savings, and debt is $13,622.01. That leaves us with $489.99 buffer. And most of that buffer is just because I allotted us to bring in the extra $450. But with this challenge that we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting money towards that every day. So that buffer is not going to really be there. And then anything that's left over, we'll roll it over to next month. So I also had a comment on my last budget with me that was saying that one of us needs to get another job. We're both already working a lot. One of us needs to get an extra job because we don't have any money left over. And although I'm not a zero-based budgeter, I don't want a large sum of money left over in my budget. The reason why we do budgets is so that every dollar has a name, or every dollar has a job, and everything in our budget is going exactly where it needs to go. And any little bit of buffer is just so we can roll it over next month, and then in case something just happens to come up and it comes out of our checking account, then we have that small buffer just in case. But it's not meant to have, I'm not meant to have an extra $1,000 left over in my budget, because if I had an extra $1,000 left over my budget, then I would just be throwing that to debt or savings. So it doesn't make sense for me to have like a large sum of money left over, because everything is literally going where it should go. That is going towards debt, savings is going towards savings. It all has a job within my budget. So that's my TED Talk. All right, so that concludes this September financial reset. You guys, we know, how did your August go, and what is one of your goals for September that you are looking to achieve this September? And if you have not, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your bell notifications so you never miss an upload. And until next time, bye.